Hello, in this video we'll look at how to create a SQL Server configuration in Standby multi-platform. Let me log into the control center. Before creating a SQL Server configuration, the first step is to add SQL Server instances to the central console. So I'm choosing the host. So the authentication type for which I can use to add a SQL Server instance can be either a SQL Server authentication or a Windows authentication. So both works perfectly fine. So if you're using a SQL Server authentication, you need to have a privileged user and for which you should know the password. So let's try with SQL Server authentication. So if I click this current, as you can see, it immediately discovers the instance name and it also does a connectivity test. Along with that, it also displays the user databases that are available on that particular instance. Let's look at Windows authentication. So the same thing. And once I'm confirming which authentication that I'm going to use, I can choose that and confirm and add an instance. The second is add your DR instance, the same. So here, as soon as I use Windows authentication, it immediately displays what is the instance name, whether the connection test was successful, and if there are any user databases that are available. So confirm and add instances. So once the instance has been added, the next step is to create your configuration. So this will display the number of user databases that are available in production, and if there are any user databases that are available in your standby instance as well, it will also be displayed. So I can now choose for which databases I'm going to create a configuration. You can choose multiple databases at the same time. So here, let me choose AdWorks and EMP. So on the production instance, I'm choosing two databases and it automatically highlights which standby instances are available. So for example, you cannot create a standby configuration with production and standby instance with this on the same server. So I'm choosing another instance. And as soon as I choose my second instance, it immediately does a connectivity test between primary and standby and also from standby to primary. The next step is to create custom locations for backups. So these are custom backup locations on the primary and custom backup locations on the standby. So this is the location in which my transaction log backup is taken in the primary, and this is the location in which the transaction log backup are transferred to from my primary to standby. So this can be changed for both the configurations or both the databases for which I'm choosing, or I can leave it as blank. Leaving it blank will let it fall under a default location, which is your installation location, StandbyMP backup directory. Now let me add a license key. So this is the license key and create a configuration. So the configuration has been created and it is now ready for it to create your DR databases. Some of the other prerequisites that are very important are the first and foremost thing is the user database must be in full recovery model and ensure that the installation directories and the directories that you are going to access for your backups have permission for SQL Server as well. The extensive list of prerequisites are available in the user guide. You can look at it. Thank you.